Hello, I'm Frioter, Mrs. Utter. In this video we are going to speak about why you should nominate for a Maxis Fab. Well, as you already know, there is a possibility for everyone and each to nominate a player for a Maxis Fab. There are a lot of creators who are very important for the gallery, both who have a lot of downloaders and less downloaders who support them and download their creations. And for a Maxis Guru who take care of the fabbing part, it's not always that easy to know whom to nominate. So there is this site, and you know which sites those are, and you can go and nominate people. And now let's take a look at some creators who are extremely important for the gallery because they are really contributing quite a lot to the gallery and its content, with sims that are popular among the public, who know what their downloaders want and they simply deliver it. And let's take a look into their catalogs and just check how many Maxis Fabs do they have. I would like to start with the very good Sims friend of mine, Langer Louie 99. And yes, of course I'm biased because I just love what this creator is creating, but this creator is truly, if you look at the creator's catalog, you will see that this is cream of the crop indeed. It's a display, the catalog is a display of excellence in both spaces and features. The houses or buildings are really unique, as well as the faces of the Sims. The poses make naturally the Sims look a bit more alike, but if you download them in CAS you will see the quality. It's not your ordinary 5-minute Sims, even though I think this player is quite fast, and usually people misunderstand this fast working players and they, well, think things that it's not truth, it's just superstition, but that's another story, right? Well, but this player has, if you call it talent or anything, it's more than that. So now, I guess after this very short visit to the catalog, I guess you think that this player is like showered by Maxis Favs and nominations and everything. But let's take a look at it. Maxis curated, and we write Langer Louie, and let's see what happens. Oh, nothing. Oh. Isn't that strange? And lots? Nothing? Aren't you surprised? And rooms? Oh, that is a surprise indeed. The next player I'm going to present really did something to the gallery. This player really, well, stirred around the cattle. And, well, with the style this player has created, and I would like to say that this style is really appealing to many players because of its usefulness. Well, there it was in the CAS, and aesthetics is one thing, and I think if the style is appealing to the downloaders, then, well, just don't go into the aesthetics discussions, because as long as your downloader loves what the player is doing, then you would just accept it, and should just accept it. Now let's see what is with the issue with the Maxis Fabs. So when we write ananas muffin, pineapple muffin, then we see no Maxis Favs at all. And yet, as we already know, this player is quite an active Sims player and a trendsetter, I would like to say, but yet, no Maxis Favs. But now let's go over to the king of the gallery in many cases, and it's Wander Retro. Well, the poses make the Sims look a little bit alike. They're all sweet and everything, but you will get a great surprise when you download, and if you download one or several of his Sims into your cast. And let's take a look at this one. Unfortunately, we have skins on, but yet it doesn't really take away the pleasure of looking at this Sim. And Wander Retro does marvels with hardcore noses. This player can really do magic with the features of these Sims this player is creating. And that is a rarity, I would like to say, on the gallery. Not many players have this ability, so if you really want to find a great creator, well, check the Sims in CAS and check several of their Sims and really look for the changes. Now let's take a look at this Sim, also by Wander Retro, and as I said, you know, it looked just the same. But if you put it into the CAS and you turn around, you see there are some, even if the changes seem to be small, but they make such a great difference to the Sim. And you always can click on the original nose and you can take a look what it looked like. And then you know, click around a little bit and see from the original Maxis to this one, and that is a creation. Small changes can really do quite a lot for your Sim. And Wander Retro does even rooms and buildings, as we will be able to see here. Different angles, playful shapes, daring color combinations as well, sometimes though. Classic architecture, as you can see here. And it's also, if you really want to explore someone's style or even design skills, you should download things, not only look at the pictures. Because a picture doesn't really say much. A pretty picture is, thank God, a pretty picture, but well, you can't really show off your skills and determine if someone has any skills or not by looking at a pretty picture. That's why pose makers usually get away with this, you know, that great creator title. But if a pose maker, like Wander Retro, who is also a pose maker, makes these wonderful creations, rooms and buildings and even Sims, then you know that this is one of the creators. Doesn't only use like one Sim, but finds different faces, can make a huge difference with just one simple change, adjustment. That's a creative for you. And now let's take a look at the Maxis Favs. So a few rooms are faved by Maxis, and it was back in 2015. Oh, that was generous, wasn't it? And a few houses. What do we see? 2014. And here is 15 on 2 Sims. Oh well. Yeah, I guess. That's life, I guess. A prophet is never, and I say never, really appreciated by his people. As as we could see in the two previous cases as well, and we are going to see it unfortunately in the upcoming cases. The next player who really wants what the audience and public or downloaders want is Skystar, a player who is very a frequent uploader and makes very fancy and elegant sims, both male and female. Gives you some variation as well, and has a very good taste, or gives the sims very nice elegant outfits. This player is often on the pub tab, quite high and very often on the first row. And it's not so strange, because this player really knows what the audience wants and delivers it. So now let's see. What about the favs? Oh, but this player doesn't do any lots, neither does this player rooms. But let's take a look at the Maxis favs. Does this player have any Maxis fav for his or her sims? None. And lots? None, but that's not strange because this player doesn't make any lots. But that is quite curious, isn't it? Now we are going further and we take this very fun player, Frutinka, and this player focuses only on vampires, and this is so cool. It's really wonderful, scary and appealing at the same time, and people love them. Well, sometimes the download numbers are a bit too unfair. Not so many download them, but that's because they are so specific, I guess. But this player is so fun to watch. And the colors are daring and vibrant. And the player does even a few houses or lots and a lot of gardens that also have something to do with the vamps, which is quite sweet as well. So visit the catalog of this player. You just have to do it. So let's take a look at the Maxis, number of Maxis badges this player has gathered. How many are there? Newest? None? Oh, how interesting. The next player I'm going to show here is Risk, a wonderful Sims friend of mine and a great pose maker. Has only done a few pose packages, but they are just excellent and they are getting better and better. Besides, this player also hosts challenges and is a great supporter as well. Never whines, never gets into any things that could harm anyone, which I admire very, very much. So this player, as I said before, makes poses and uses custom content sometimes, and even uses defaults, eye defaults and skin defaults and everything, just to make your sim more appealing. And this player also knows how to charm, and I'm underlining that word, charm the public, the audience, the downloaders, because these creations are charming, elegant, playful, and well, I'm out of words. So here is one of the challenges that this player has hosted, and this player does even rooms, beautiful rooms, magical rooms with wonderful colors and even builds, but not as many builds as many other builders, because building takes time, and I recognize myself in this. It's not always you have time, with the buildings. It can sometimes a very challenging building can take hours or days, and sometimes you are just in luck and you can make anything. But as you can see here about the Maxis Favs, if we go back to that, there are no Maxis Favs, and I find it most curious. So now comes cream of the crop, and the king or queen of the character simmers, and it's the Lonnikins. I mean, it just, you go, wow, when you see the skills this player displays in the creations this player makes. It's just extraordinary. As this player writes on the player's profile page, if you haven't been laughing for a long time or haven't laughed at all, just visit my catalog. And you know what? This player is telling the truth. Yes, sir. And we see some rooms and some buildings as well in this catalog. Now let's see, what about Maxis Favs? No rooms, one lot from a very long time back. And we have actually some, but very, very few Maxis Favs. Well, not a bad date, but still. Nothing to be very happy about. We would like to see more, wouldn't we? But now let's go to the next player, and that is Ellison54. Well, this player is quite fascinating, because this player will make you any character sim, and it's everything from the cute girl sims to quite fascinating sims. As you can see, the catalog is quite fascinating. And even this player can show off his or her skills quite well. If you put the Sims in CAS and take a look at it. So one of my absolute favorites in the catalog of this player is naturally this one. I mean, the color combo and the makeup is just extraordinary. It's very cool and innovative, I would like to say. And not everyone can achieve this perfection, as I don't really believe in perfection, but in this case I would like to say that yes, that is. And we have a few buildings as well, and you will also see a few rooms. And now I guess you think that this player is showered with the Maxis Favs and attention from the downloaders. And what happens when we put on the Maxis Curator? None on buildings, and we have one Maxis Fav on a sim. Oh, yes, that sometimes, the life is a bit strange. Let's call it that. But it's nothing we can do, can we? Now I'm going to show you one of my absolute favorites. This simmer is a cream of the crop as well. And this simmer shows you what you can do with these simple tools. What we are given in CAS. I mean, just feast your eyes on this. It's incredible. It's so cartoon-like and so anime-like and so expressive. If there is anyone who makes art in Sims, and I really mean art, it's this player. Because it's so, every sim this player makes, and even every room or building this player makes, it has a character of its own. It's so unique and extraordinary. It's actually downloading these players is like reading a book. If you download one building, you will really get into this player's mind. It's like one of my favorite simmers as well, but this simmer has got a few more Maxis Favs than these players who are here, and it's Rabuski. Rabuski is just as excellent as this player. And both are puzzling me really. I would like to get into their brain and take a look at it and just take quite a moment and take a delight into the way they think. It would be a great pleasure indeed. So what about the Maxis Favs then for this player? None. None. And 0. Oh well, life is sad. Let's see, next player, also cream of the crop, an incredible builder, incredible Sims maker, just incredible player, is Firefly9. If you look at this Simmer's catalog, you will just have a chuckle. And, well, if you're in a bad mood or anything, you just go there and take a look at it. And this player is a master of colors, and this player is also master of shapes. In addition, this player works magic with a small brush and paints on pets like a true artist. I mean, this, for instance, this dog is an entry to one of my challenges, and as you see, it should resemble Delft's Blauw, you know, this very famous Dutch porcelain factory and artists who work with porcelain and paint on porcelain, and the dog was just an excellent example of it. Here is another dog, and it's a copy, Van Gogh's painting, right? And if you download it, and you just have to find it and download it, you will be amazed of what this player can achieve. Like, just look at the detail and colors. It's a perfection. Let's take a look at this sim in CAS. Is it as perfect as it is on the picture? Yes, sir. This sim certainly looks good from all the angles. The shape of the head, the shape of the nose, the shape of the chin, everything is just realistic and beautiful. That's art for you, isn't it? And this one, I mean, it's a treasure. It's a gem in the gallery, and it's certainly, you just have to see it in cast because it's so delicious. Not many players can achieve this standard. And still, they're calling themselves artists and the creators. And don't be surprised if you find beautiful buildings in this player's catalog, as well as beautiful rooms. Beautiful, just not beautiful is too simple word. Look at these patterns. I mean, it's excellence. And the rooms, I mean, all these rooms are, filled with paintings and photos, and these are not your ordinary photos that you remake, from the real photos. These are made in game. That's hardcore. That's quality. So now you probably think, just as I do, that this player must have a lot of Maxis favs. And people are just, standing in queue to nominate this player. Let's take a look. Oh, rooms none. Okay. Lots none. Households none. Now, this can't be true. Because I have actually nominated this player not maybe 100 of times, but it feels like 100 of times. Let's take a look at Simdals then. Simdals is another extraordinary simmer and very beautifully minded simmer as well. And sometimes you can see masterpieces really. And you have different rooms, and a true designer you can recognize by the style. If the creator uses the same style, well, it's safety. But if the creator is able to make different style of buildings, sims and everything, that is your true creator. Because that is what design is about. You just have to show variation and variety, and that you can master different things and different styles. Otherwise, well, there is a long way to go. If you wish to become the Sims creator, like some people believe that they already are, but that's another story. And I mean, well, if people believe something, then they believe. But this player, Simdals, really shows variation, variety, and I get excited when I see his or hers creations, really. And what does Maxis say? No badges? No medals? Oh, yes, look at that. 4 houses, but when was that? 2014? Has Maxis been a sleeping beauty? And we have nomination pages. Now let's take a look at another creator, Looper. Looper has a taste that is a really excellent and exciting taste, I would like to say, in colors and shapes. This player plays a lot with Moo, I think, and does both rooms and buildings, and is a sim creator as well, and is very particular with details, which is quite excellent as well for a true designer. Now, this player, apart of making sims and stuff, also makes tutorials and poses, and is quite active on the social media. And I would like to say that this creator is excellent as well when it comes to dealing with people who have certain ideas about who should be on the pop tab and who should not, who deserve and who do not. I have heard a lot of very strange rumors, but this player is like the Queen, the Queen of England, really. Just like doesn't pay any attention and turns the other cheek. Well, I don't know how good it is or bad, but I admire this player for that. I have only seen this player once react to unfair rumors, but this player never pointed out anyone, singled out anyone, or lashed out at anyone, which is just extraordinary in itself. Now the cream of the crop, Sacred 70. I mean, what a player. Just like Firefly and Rabuski and even Mulevap, I mean, this player is just amazing when it comes to color combinations, shapes and experimentation. Just look at this color combo. I mean, most people wouldn't dare to use it, but Sacred takes it and makes something quite wonderful out of it. It's just amazing. And the same comes to the sims this player is making. Just takes a sim, either makes from the fantasy or probably something this player sees on the street or just a celebrity. And let's take a look at this celebrity in Cass, and it's Hugh Grant, right? Oh, it does look dishy and is quite a lot alike. And the buildings, naturally. Not only the rooms are the perfection, but the ideas, you know, the whole concept, what this gamer is creating is a masterpiece. Each of these buildings is a pearl, a treasure. So the catalog of the simmer is a treasure chest, and it just should be showered and overwhelmed with compliments and Maxis favs, in my opinion, in my humble opinion as a designer. This is an artist. If there is art in, I mean, this is a game, but this gamer really brings out the best of the things that we are presented by Maxis. No, truly. Now let's take a look what Maxis says about this player's creations. Oh, nothing. I remember I nominated a few households, lots, and rooms. Now, this must be a gallery glitch. I really hope that this is a gallery glitch and that I'm wrong. I don't think I see. I need glasses or something. Well, as you see, I retyped the name and still I see just plain nothing. So one could wonder here if the quality is something that those who choose the items that are, well, chosen by Maxis Fav are actually of quality. And now comes another beautiful simmer, wonderful simmer that is not that active, unfortunately. If this player was active, I'm sure that would just be on the PubTab probably the whole time. Or I would place this simmer on the first row and never ever take it off the first row. Yes, just look at those beautiful rooms. The composition, the color scheme and the variation is just excellent. Not many creators will provide you with that. And the same applies to buildings. They are just wonderful when it comes to color scheme and when it comes to shapes and when it comes to the atmosphere as well. Look at this version of Marilyn Monroe. I mean, it really looks as it should look, right? And just look at this wonderful creation. I would never be able to create something like this, and you just have to see it in cast. I remember I nominated this creation. And look, this wonderful little goblin. Just beautiful, isn't it? While you feast your eyes on this, I'm going to think how many, and count by myself, how many Maxis favs does this player get. Are you ready? 1. Lots. 1. Well, I guess we can imagine that the gurus who nominate for Maxis favs are not always able to see everyone because, well, let's face it, there are so many players on the gallery who are uploading and so on, and they probably cannot find the pearls we just saw in this video, and you probably have your own treasures and gems that you would like someone to uncover, especially if they do not have so many followers. These players, some of them have quite a lot of followers, so they are not in that great need, but those who really need are these small players. So there is a thing you can do for these players. Luckily, you can nominate a player you like for a Maxis fav. And you do it by going to one of these websites, and I have already instructed you on that, and how you can search and so on, and you find and you write a good description and motivate why this player in particular should receive this Maxis badge. But this is most importantly to do, that you actually do it, is to avoid that people nominate each other over and over again. The more the merrier, so just go there and do your duty. The best thing is that you have chance to be nominated as well by someone on the gallery. So go and check out the websites I just have told you about and do your nominations and get nominated. But avoid fixed nominations, which is quite common, and that's important. Don't nominate yourself, and do not nominate your friends over and over again. It's just embarrassing. Remember that Maxis doesn't fav any households or anything else in poses or any custom content, so avoid that. On my YouTube channel you can find a video, an instruction video about the nomination process, how you can nominate and what you, well, should and maybe should not to. Use your common sense. That's the most important part of it all. And good luck with nominations. So how can you help Maxis to find a good creator? You look for variation in styles. You look for playfulness. That's creativity. And most importantly, a talented creator doesn't have to brag about how good he or she is. In this video we talked why you should nominate for a Maxis fav. And nominate not only well-known and established players, but also some who are less established and have very few followers. Remember, a good creator knows what his or her downloaders want, and they deliver it as well. And they never ever brag about their talents. They just create because they do not have time for rumors. Now, I thank you for watching. Happy simming. Join me on Twitter and everything else. See you next time. Bye bye.